Welcome to another edition of Modern Dallas TV. I'm Jeff Levine with moderndallas.net. This week we have a wonderful lineup. We stop by a spectacular soft contemporary in Preston Hollow. We visit Zhulong Gallery and talk about their show with Azuma Makoto, SHIKI, Landscape and Beyond, and visit a new store that just is opening in Dallas, Living Modern. Stick around for the art scene, the calendar, and enjoy this week's edition. Modern Dallas Real Estate is here at 6337 Orchid Lane. I'm here with Chris Cole, the builder of this magnificent home. But one of the fun things about this, and the story we've chatted about, is I walk up and down Tibbs, and one of the things that stood out was the little cornerstone that you put on the sign of the building that said Cole & Company 2015. And to me, that was a highlight. Very few people go there and put a stamp of approval on their work.
That's true. I think of, the original idea, a lot of the buildings that have withstood the time, whether it's in New York City or Chicago or wherever, both residential and commercial, a lot of times we'll have these cornerstones. And so sometimes it'll have the architect or builder of the year it was built or who was dedicated to. And when we're building our homes, we really try to build things that are timeless and not trendy. Whether they are, ultra modern or soft contemporary, whatever the genre is, it still should look like it does for the rest of time and be able to withstand time. And so the cornerstone is just a statement, really, to say this is this house, and it's a piece of art, really and truly. I mean, each time we kind of call this the art house, as you can see we have around, but we consider it a piece of art, and so that's really our signature on the piece.
And it stands out, and it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Well, my stamp of approval.
Thank you so much.
But more importantly, the house.
Yes.
What was the vision for the house? Because this was originally, I think, a 1950s ranch-style home. It's morphed, and now it's morphed into this.
Yeah, the home was, it was built in the 50s. It was an original ranch. The original house on the front part was around 2,300 square feet. It had an old sleeping porch. It had the garage in the back. And had actually been remodeled in 2009 already when we inherited the house in 2014. And it was just a very typical Preston Hollow ranch house. It had been added on to, as I mentioned, was still a little dated in that area. And so we took it literally down to the studs. We wanted to keep the integrity of the house. You've heard before, we always look for good bones in a house. And so when we toured the house, did the inspection, looked at it, we really looked for good bones, and it had great ones, actually. Both the foundation, the existing wall structure, everything that was here. It had initially good flow. Pretty much nothing is, other than the master, is in the same location it was before. We moved walls, changed literally the entire house, and so the old owners have been by and didn't even recognize it as theirs, but we took it literally down to the foundation. The whole front part of the house is a new construction completely. And the back, even that had been added on to, went through a down to the stud renovation, even though it was built in 2009. And what we did is we really lifted all the ceilings from 8 to either 9, 10, or 11 foot high. We brought lots of light and windows all throughout the house and just turned it into a soft contemporary built for today for any type of family, honestly.
And I tell you what, you mentioned the ceiling height. It feels so open. The space is just a beautiful space for any family.
Absolutely.
It really feels very comforting. Any benefits and features that are in the home?
In general, everything is upgraded. There's a lot of, some of the lighting that we put in here was all actually vintage lighting or vintage inspired that we came in. As each house is built, a lot of new construction houses, everything is decided up front. When we're creating these pieces of art, each thing actually evolves as we're going through the process. So from the door hardware to the lighting to even the countertops, each thing kind of adds on to whatever the next decision is. The home has very high-end appliance packages, amazing insulation, everything to kind of bring it up with the building envelope and bring it to today's standards, really and truly.
Well, it's a magnificent home.
Thank you.
You can see it at daveperrymiller.com. It's listed by Karen Fry. Or you can visit moderndallas.net and see it on our listings. Modern Dallas Art is here today at Zhulong Gallery. We're here to see the show with Azuma Makoto, SHIKI, Landscape and Beyond. And I'm here with Asia Martin. Asia, love the show.
Oh, thank you. So do we. It definitely was a labor of love. We've worked on this show for over a year with his team out of Tokyo, and we're just thrilled with how it all turned out.
What's the inspiration?
So the inspiration is really the ikebana. It starts with ikebana, the sort of floral practice, which is a practice that's about bringing nature into the indoors or into domestic spaces, and really dealing with the entirety of a plant form, including the root, the trunk, and the flower or needles that you would see on the tip of this timeless pine tree.
This is an interesting concept. There has to be some idea behind it.
Definitely.
What was that? And more important, is this tree real?
So this tree is semi-real. The roots and the trunk are all real. This is a real pine bonsai tree. And the needles are actually handmade resin needles that are then applied to the trunk and the branches. And definitely there is a concept involved. Azuma has a wonderful relationship with plants and flowers, and he's really looking at sort of what does it look like, what does it feel like to juxtapose or to put together something very natural with something very artificial. And the artificial element comes from the square, which is for him a motif of, it's sort of like the most human-made form he can think of. And so yes, you have this beautiful balance of natural and artifice, and then also you have the natural and the artifice within the timeless pine itself.
Now, all around the gallery are these magnificent photos.
Yes.
From the desert to looks like Antarctic.
Exactly.
What was that, and how does that play into the show?
So the heart of Azuma's practice is really about the passage of time and sort of reveling in the time between life or birth and death. He sees the work not so much as memento mori, but as a way to sort of revel in liveliness. And so he takes the SHIKI around the world with him. You know, he does a lot of traveling with all of the sorts of luxury commissions that he's given as a designer. And he started to do these projects sort of on the side while he was on location. And so from there, that became its own sort of branch in his practice. You know, what are the kinds of landscapes out of doors that also you would not normally find a flower or a pine tree? And so that's why you see these very extreme locations that are oftentimes harsh, that have plant forms in them, but nothing like a bonsai.
Oculus.
Ah, yes. We were thrilled when Eddie Narita, one of his team members, let us know that she was going to bring an Oculus experience. So the work that actually drew me into Azuma's practice was SHIKI Space, or Exobotanica is another name for that series. And they're the 30 photographs that you see next to the Oculus experience. But because they used a GoPro camera to film the ascent of the bonsai or the SHIKI into near space, they also were able to create this beautiful 360-degree view of the ascent and the descent of the plant, which took off from Nevada. And so we have this experience that people are more than welcome. We encourage you to come and experience the ascent of the SHIKI. And I think that's really important because the way I see Azuma's practice, the SHIKI is kind of a proxy for him. It's a stand-in for humans also, which is, I think, why people are able to connect with the work, because there is a sort of a persona or a personality alive in the tree. And so to experience the Oculus with the tree is just a beautiful sort of capstone on the show.
This whole show is absolutely a treasure. I mean, from the moment you walk into Zhulong Gallery and you see this centerpiece and you walk around, what an absolute dream.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for having us at Zhulong Gallery today. It's at 1302 Dragon Street. Stop by, say hi to Asia, and hope you enjoyed this one.
See you soon.
Experience LED at Lights Fantastic Pro, our sponsor on Modern Dallas TV. Lighting is changing at warp speed, and there's definitely an LED revolution going on. You'll see a curated selection of some of the coolest new LED fixtures from some of the best brands around the world. Visit their 12,000 square foot showroom minutes from the new Nebraska Furniture Mart in Louisville off the Sam Rayburn Tollway. Come see for yourself how lighting can enhance and change your next project. So Modern Dallas Cool Spaces is here today at a wonderful new store that's just arrived in Dallas, Living Modern.
Yes, thank you very much.
What a concept, hey?
Thank you, yes.
Thank you.
It's great, it's a wonderful location, great space. I'm here with Evan and Norma, the owners. Evan, where did this come from? All of a sudden in Dallas?
Well, we are young and we like modern products, and we furnished our home, and we had a very difficult time finding good quality modern products that were at a mid-range price point. So we felt that the market was very well served on the high end and on the low end, and there was really nobody in the middle. And so we decided to explore the vendors that were out there in the market for these types of products, and we were very fortunate enough to find a very good amount of vendors. Some that have absolutely no presence in Dallas at all, we're their only dealer. Some that have a diluted presence, but we were also very fortunate to be able to find this wonderful space that we were able to convert into a showroom. And so that's basically how all this came about.
It's a beautiful showroom display-wise. Who's the creative?
Norma. Norma Gerstein, my wife, is an interior designer and has grown up in the furniture industry. Her family started manufacturing and retailing furniture in the early 60s. And so Norma was the absolute creator of not only the layout of the space, but she, along with myself, we curated all the merchandise, and Norma set up the entire showroom. So she is really the creative director behind this tour de force that we have.
So Norma, tell us, I mean, I walked through all the settings, and I was pretty blown away. I think they're great,
you so
they're
much.
well curated.
Thank you.
What's the vision from your side?
My vision is a very simple vision. It's nice furniture, chic furniture that when you have a visitor in your house, they will say, wow, this is great. They feel happy, full of color, sophisticated, but always young and happy.
Wonderful. Well, I tell you what, it's a great space. It's opening this week, and definitely
We're
stop
so
by.
excited. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's located at 3900 Oak Lawn.
Yes.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, and we are very happy too. Evan and me, we're gonna be here always in front of the store, taking care of our customers.
Wonderful. All the best.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mary Thomas Gallery is a contemporary fine arts gallery offering collectors, designers, and patrons exciting and visionary art. Located in the vibrant Dallas Design District, the gallery space provides opportunities to inform, instruct, and inspire art collectors. Rotating exhibits feature regional, national, and international artists whose works may be found in private, corporate, and museum collections. Please visit us at 1110 Dragon Street or at marythomasgallery.com.
To wrap up this week on Modern Dallas TV, on the art scene, November the 14th, Sidonia Gallery opens their show with Francis Bagley and Ryan Burkhardt from 6 to 8 p.m. And on the calendar, our famous Modernist Meetup arrives again this month, and this week it's located at Lights Fantastic, 4645 Greenville Avenue from 6 to 8 p.m. And also on the 11th, there's the Lunch and Learn series, as well as a panel discussion at the Dallas Center for Architecture. Our open house is our featured home at 6337 Orchid Lane on November the 8th from 2 to 4 p.m. And if you'd like a little bit more modern, listen to The Modernist on KLIF 570 AM on Sundays at 2 p.m. And for real estate listings, the art scene, calendar of events, visit moderndallas.net. We simply have the finest moderns in Dallas. And for this week, we absolutely appreciate you taking your time and staying to the end of the show. Have a great week.